What's going on, guys? Roger here with QVO Tactical. Today we have a really cool video for all of you clone gun lovers out there. This is being coined by pretty much everybody on the internet, including us, as the M110 that you have at home. I am not a huge clone buff, but I have definitely been liking the retro military style guns that Palmetto State Armory has been coming out with as of late. So today, guys, we are shooting the PSA Sabre 10. Now, as always, I like to tell you guys how you go about getting these products in for review. With these guns being so popular, they tend to go out of stock fairly quickly. So I did sign up for the email restock notification on the PSA website. And when they came back in stock, I purchased one for $1,500 from the website. Palmetto State Armory did credit us back 10% a discount to help support the channel. We appreciate that, as every little bit helps when it comes to production costs for these videos. Now, we've typically been diving right into the range footage lately. However, with this being more of a long range rifle, I wanted to dive into the specs of the platform before we hit the range. The new Palmetto State Armory Sabre 10 is a semi-automatic rifle chambered in .308. It features a 20-inch 4150 steel barrel with a 1-in-10 twist and a rifle-length gas system. Around the barrel, you're going to notice a 12.5-inch quad rail with matching rail covers. The rifle also features a pinned Picatinny-style 5-position adjustable gas block. The receiver is made from billet 7075 aluminum and has an FDE Cerakote finish to match the furniture of the rifle, including a Magpul Picatinny bipod that comes with your purchase. The rifle comes with ambidextrous Radian controls as well as a Radian Raptor charging handle. They have also installed their Sabre 2-stage black DLC coated trigger, which was very nice to shoot on the range. Finishing the rifle off in true classic form is an FDE A1 stock. The rifle will ship in the matching tan Savior equipment rifle bag with 3 metal tan Cerakoted mags for a grand total of $1,500. The Sabre 10 also comes in a 6.5 Creedmoor variant as well as a forged version for a couple $100 less. For nostalgia purposes, I chose to go with the .308 version. Now again, I am new to the whole rifle clone game, but when I did a little bit of research, I found out that like an SR25 version of the M110 is going to run you about $4,000, and what was even more outrageous was that like an actual M110 would cost you almost $30,000 if you wanted to get one. So for Palmetto State Armory to put this rifle out with so many features, being very close to the real thing and at this price point, I'm pretty stoked. I mean, even look at the text and font on the side of the rifle. They did such a great job with this new offering, and I think many of the military style rifle collectors are going to be pretty impressed. All right, now that we know that the aesthetic and price are on point with this rifle, how does it do in regards to performance? As always, guys, we recorded our first rounds to the gun, so here is that footage now. All right, guys, out here on the range getting our first rounds to the PSA Sabre 10. We are shooting some PMC X-Tac 147 grain .308, courtesy of True Shot Ammo out of Tempe, Arizona. Guys, True Shot has some awesome customer service, awesome selection of in-stock ammunition ready to go. So whether you're buying bulk ammo, cheap ammo, handgun, shotgun, whatever have you, they have it ready for you. If you're local to Arizona, definitely check them out in store. However, they do have an online presence as well, so if you need to order it, you can get it that way. They've hooked us up with some rounds for this video, so we appreciate their support, and we appreciate you checking them out and giving them some support as well. I'm gonna have everybody step up here on the line. We're just gonna each shoot 5 rounds, see how the gun feels, and then we will adjust the gas, play with suppression, and get it all zeroed. Here we go, first 5 rounds. Whoo! This feels good. 308's got a little oomph to it, but nothing that's not manageable. I'm looking forward to when we suppress it. I'm gonna have Gabe hop up here because he agrees this is definitely the M110 we have at home, right, bud?
Yep.
Hey-o.
That thing's pretty sweet. I always love my 308, so this is gonna be fun. I'm excited for this.
All right, we got John up next. It's been a minute, bud. You picked the right day to come out. Give it a whirl, man.
All right.
Woo.
Nice.
All right, if you're hitting the 200-yard steel, it must be somewhat. We zeroed this optic on a different rifle, but you're the only one that's hit, so.
Nice.
All right, we got Compton up next. Go for it, bud.
Very nice.
All right, everybody hold on. We got Celebrity on set. Celebrity on set. What's up, Sal?
What's going on, man?
Where can I find you on Instagram?
At Sal_Guns.
Hey-o, get it, bud. What'd you say it smells like?
Freedom. Pretty dope.
Eric, aka Toasty Tots, where you been, bro?
You know me, disappearing.
Lefty on the Sabre 10. Go for it, bud.
Oh,
nice.
God. Never liked 308, but this might change my mind.
Hey-o. Now the first rounds unsuppressed weren't too bad. There was a little bit of kick with this being a 308 instead of 223, but nothing too crazy. I really like two-stage triggers, including this one from Palmetto State Armory. More on the trigger in just a little bit. Now, a couple of things I do want to note before we get into the rifle zeroing footage. We noticed that the FDE Cerakote was pretty thick on this rifle. At first, we could not get the bolt to push the round all the way forward. We did have to give the bolt and the chamber a good amount of lubrication, which eventually allowed the bolt to go all the way forward and seat the round completely. Now, let's get into zeroing this rifle. For this video, we were using the Primary Arms 4-16 GLX scope. You guys all know that I really dig the ACSS reticle that Primary Arms uses in their optics. They definitely make some of my favorite glass on the market. All right, guys, we got it set up now with the Griffin 30 cal SD suppressor, and check out these cool mags. Got some Duramag 308 stainless steels that have been lasered in the cool tiger stripe pattern that we offer on QVOtactical.com. Definitely check them out. But we're gonna get zero now. I want to zero this thing suppressed, and then we also want to make sure we can tune the gas, get some nice 3 o'clock ejection. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go. There's 5. All right, we'll go take a look at the hits. All right, guys, up here at 100, we need to get this thing zeroed. It was definitely hard for me. I forgot my rear bag for the stock, but trying to get centered up was having a little bit of difficulty. That's on me. So I'm gonna go off of these two. I'll adjust from there, and we'll see if we're closer to center. All right, guys, we made our adjustments for 2 inches up and 2 inches right. This is a mil reticle, so 0.1 mil is each click. So 3.6 inches is 1 mil at 100 yards. So I just divide 2 by 0.36 and you get about 5.5 clicks. So made our adjustments and we'll see where we're at from here. I'll try to take my shots a little slower to get a better grouping. Here we go. That one felt good. Oh, that one did not feel good. All right, let's go check it. All right, so these 3 are gonna be what I'm gonna go off of, and these 2, or these 3 here are my flyers. But we're getting closer, so I'll make adjustments off of those 3 and see where we're at. All right, we made our adjustments for these those 2 inches, and then I'm also going to shoot. We got some A-zone, mini A-zone steel, so like 6-inch wide out at 200. I'm recording through my phone through the binocular, so hopefully we can match up that footage together. Here we go. All right, we're gonna move over to the 200 now.
There you go.
So that's for the BDC lineup. It's not at 2, but we're hitting there. It's crazy seeing the target light up before you can hear it. Anyway, we have some devices from Caldwell that mount to the back of your steel and light it up so you can see when you get your hits, which you guys are seeing right here. So we're hitting there at 200.
Caldwell flashbang.
There you go, the flashbangs. So those are awesome. They're cheap. They're only 20 bucks, I think. And they had a sale, so I bought 5 for 100. But we're gonna go up, look at the target real quick, and then I'll bust out my Straylock app just to match up this reticle and see where we're at. All right, guys, so I'm kind of all over the place. I'm sure it's me, but I got 1 here, 1 here, 1. So a total of 5 rounds. I typically like to go with the rounds that are touching. However, I moved left from here, so it's definitely not going to be those guys. So it's probably these is what I'm going to go off of. And since we're hitting the 200, when we shot out over here. You guys saw it light up. Hopefully the other footage got it. We'll probably leave it there and we'll see how we're hitting from here. So this definitely wasn't the best zero that we've gotten here on the channel. I did expect much tighter groups at 100 yards with this being a 20-inch barrel chambered in .308. We were shooting the 147 grain PMC X-Tac, which is M80 ball ammo, so not the worst ammo in regards to accuracy, but definitely not the best. For this reason, I decided to head back out to the range with some higher end .308 ammunition to get some better groups at 100 yards. All right, guys, back out here on the range. Sal and I were talking on the previous range session that if we use some better ammunition, some match grade ammunition, we'd probably get better results in regards to our zero. So I wanted to do that. With this being a 20-inch .308, I definitely want to see how it can do in regards to accuracy. So we went and picked up some higher grade ammunition, not just M80 ball. We got some S&B 168 hollow point boat tail. We got some Precision Hunter from Hornady, their 178 grain .308. Then I also picked up some Federal Premium with the Sierra Match King Bullet 168 grain. And then just for good measure, I did actually pick up some 147 .308, like just basic range ammo, just to see how that does as well. We got a target 100 yards out. We're gonna shoot a 100 yard zero again, Sal's spotting for me. And then we have a shoot and see target with my iPhone recording down range. So you guys can see this happen in real time. So first one up is going to be the S&B 168. We just sat through some rainfall, so everything's a little wet, but we should be still good to go. Here we go. Ready, Sal? Here we go. Good, everything's cycled, gas system's working well. Yeah, it looks like left center. I think this was originally zero to that 147 we shot on the previous range session.
Got one.
Nice. And I think that was 5, right? We did not get locked back, so might have to adjust the gas if we're not getting locked back. I think we adjusted to what, like number 3 setting?
Yeah.
All right, next up, Precision Hunter from Hornady, the 308 178 grain, and we're gonna shoot the top right target now. Good, bud? Nice. All right, let's shoot the top right now. Hornady 178 grain. Oh, didn't cycle that one. Let's fix this real quick. All right, here we go. Good grouping. Gotcha. This one was the Hornady. Next up's going to be the Federal Premium with the Sierra Match King Bullet 168 grain. We'll shoot the bottom left for this one. Ready? And lock back there. All right, and like I said, just for good measure, we will shoot some 147 308. And this is actually 308 versus the 7.6251 this time on this 147. Bottom right. don't think that one's gonna go. Let's see. Oh, you have to replace. Nah, we're good. There we go. And lock back. So just looking through the scope, I definitely think we have way better groups with the match grade ammo. We'll grab this camera, take it down range, and go look at the targets up close and bring a tape measure and see if we have anything that's sub MOA. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the gun definitely prefers the SMB over anything. So it's probably your best grouping was the SMB.
All right, cool. Let's go take a look. All right, guys, down here at the target now. So this top left one, that one was the SMB 168, and I'd say this is probably the furthest. So we have just outside of 1 inch. If it would have been just that, it would have been sub MOA, but very close to 1 MOA right there for me. This was the Hornady 178, and the 2 furthest rounds are here. That is 1.5 MOA, so 1.5 inch grouping there. This one made a little triangle for me, which is like 1.25. This is like 1.2, 1.25. And then the 147. Hey, I'm happy that it's all in this 6 inch circle, but like we were saying, 6 MOA right there. So the 147 for us just kind of goes all over the place. And when we were shooting the X-Tac PMC 147 out on the first range session, Sal had mentioned like, hey, I wonder what this gun could do with like, you know, some more match grade premium ammo. Picks them up, and yes, the gun is producing the results that I expected from a 20 inch 308. So I'm happy with that. Like this grouping, and that grouping, I'll take that all day long. Like, again, if I like, for me, like with all of these almost touching, I'm gonna say that's me, but you know, still we're not gonna reshoot or anything like that. But 1.2 MOA was the result that we got. What do you think, Sal?
Pretty good, man. I think that the SMB definitely performed better than anything else.
And like you were saying, like, obviously the 168 SMB worked better for the setup that we have with the Griffin Armament 30 cal SD and the billet, you know, version of the Sabre 10 that we received. Who knows, in regards to like, as I've shot a little bit of my limited experience of precision, I've learned that like, you want to get the same lot number when you buy 1,000 rounds of ammunition. That way it's all performing and same loading and everything like that. So it gets kind of crazy when you talk about like accuracy, but again, for buying, you know, off the shelf 168 grain SMB, I'll take this all day long. So for me, when I'm shooting this gun, that's what I'll be running. All right, guys, so now we have a lot to talk about. I was pretty stoked with the accuracy that we got with the SMB 168 grain hollow point boat tail ammunition. This specific ammo, in my opinion, performed the best for me with our PSA Sabre 10 and the Griffin Armament 30 cal SD suppressor. We were able to get consistent cycling, lockback, and the best accuracy. I think we can all agree it makes us very happy when we're able to produce nice tight groups with our precision rifles. I will take this grouping all day long, especially in 308, a caliber that has been difficult for me personally to get consistent results with. Now, we have been seeing reports about others having issues with the gas system on the PSA Sabre 10, so while out on the range, Sal and I decided to conduct a little experiment. We loaded 1 round in each magazine and fired the gun at all 5 of the different gas settings. It is important to note that when you get your PSA Sabre 10, there will be an instruction manual. However, the most important piece in that instruction manual is this little piece of paper right here, which tells you that the most closed setting is in the vertical position and the most horizontal position, going counterclockwise, is the most open position for the gas block. Knowing this, we started off with the rifle in the closed position, the number 1 position if you will, and fired 1 round out of each magazine. All right, guys, we got Sal up. He's going to help us try something out with the gas system. We've been seeing a couple people saying they're having issues with the gas system, so what we have done is put it in the vertical position, which means it's fully closed off, and we have each mag loaded with 3 rounds of 147 grain 308. Sal's going to shoot just rapid fire on 3 rounds to see what kind of ejection pattern and see if the gun's cycling and if we're getting locked back. Go for it on the first one, bud. So the first mag is going to be Duramag stainless steel. And just 3 quick rounds, we'll see where it's going. So not cycling, cool. So that's to be expected, right? Closed off, you shouldn't get cycling, go for it again. we've been kind of getting different results too. We just shot what? We shot in this position a minute ago and it cycled, gave us good gas settings, and then also locked back. But now it's doing what it should be. So closed off.
So that one wanted to load it, but it didn't.
Last round in the closed setting. Cool. So it's cycled, no lock back. That's to be expected. So let's put it in the number 2 position now. So we're going to go 1 click counterclockwise now. There we go. So we're now in the number 2 setting on the 5 position adjustable gas block. Another Duramag. Boom, so right there we got good ejection. It's like 330, it locked back. That was good, right? So right there, we'd leave it on that setting if we were just gonna run it unsuppressed.
Yeah, it was a good setting.
How'd the recoil feel?
Not bad, you get a little bit less gas, less recoil.
Cool. All right, so let's go to the number 3 now. 1 more click counterclockwise. Now these are the mags that come with the PSA Sabre 10. I'm not sure if they're Duramag as well, but they're the FDE Cerakoted mags. Go for it, Sal. So that was more of like 3 o'clock, 230 ejection, 245, but lock back. A little more recoil or no? A little snappier?
Yeah, a little snappier.
All right, so now you're going to what, 4?
Yep. No lock back on that one.
So no lock back, but the ejection was like 2 o'clock solid. So earlier we were noticing that we were getting different results with the their mags, huh? The tan mags.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a mag thing. I did hear somebody else in a different video talk about how they were having some problems with their mags. But now we got, you know, the fail-proof mag, Magpul, and a fully open setting. So number 5, Magpul, 308, 147. Go for it. And that was about 330 ejection. Probably the most kick though, yeah?
Yeah, and definitely chucking them forward. But this never fails. It might be a mag thing. I don't know who makes these. They don't have a
stampings or anything?
It has their logo on the base plate. I don't know if it's Duramag or OK. Not sure, but the Duramag's definitely cycle.
I am happy to see though, like I was kind of wanting more gas settings, but in this experiment we just did here, kind of did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Exactly what it's supposed to do, and you get a lot more recoil, obviously, with it completely open. You get, you know, chucking brass about 2 o'clock, so.
But the our Tiger Stripe Duramags in the number 3 setting was the best, yeah?
Yeah, definitely way less recoil. That fully open position was just kind of real snappy. I definitely feel it a lot more. All
right, let's suppress it up and do the same thing.
All right.
All right, we got the gun now suppressed with one of my favorite cans, the Griffin Armament 30 cal SD, using their gate lock attachment system. Super quick, very easy. We now also have the gas setting back in the fully closed vertical position, and Sal's gonna run again 147 308, 3 rounds per mag. We'll see what kind of ejection and stuff we're getting. So fully closed, here we go, number 1 setting. So some what? 130, 2 o'clock ejection pattern, did lock back. Is that normal?
Yeah, it's suppressed, so you're getting a little bit more back pressure on it.
Okay.
So we gotta lock it back.
And we're gonna move the gas setting to the number 2 now. And then still using the Duramag?
Yep.
So no lock back on that one.
No, definitely a lot more punchy too. I was putting them right about 1 o'clock.
Let's go to setting number 3. This was your sweet spot for unsuppressed.
We're going
counterclockwise. Number 3. So what, failure to eject or failure to feed?
Failure to feed.
And what mag is it?
This was their
the PSA mag. Okay. So maybe we're figuring out. Go ahead and load that back up. Oh, did it bend around going in?
Yeah, it bent around, caught the feed ramp pretty good.
Gotcha. Let's see if we get locked back at least. All right, so lock back there.
So it seems like their mags are kind of iffy.
Okay. Position number 4. Same thing.
Yeah, they're getting pretty jammed up in there.
So let me hold on. I'm gonna look at this real quick. Yeah. So look, full on bending the bullet in the casing.
Yeah, lock back up.
And now the fail-safe PMag on setting 5. All the way open.
Got it. Little stove plate there. But it did start to load up the next round.
So we had to mortar it to clear. All right, let's load up some more mags and do a little more testing with the suppressed. All right, keeping it in the fully open position, going to use the PMag again, 147-308, suppressed with the Griffin Armament SD, 30 cal SD. Go for it, man. So it does not like the fully open setting.
I think it might be too much gas.
All right, let's bring it back down to 3 and just make sure that it's the gas and not a mag. So come back clockwise 2 clicks. There we go. So setting number 3 on the gas block suppressed. All right, we'll try setting number 3 with the Duramag suppressed. I'll grab you some more ammo. All right, so Duramag got 5 rounds in there? 4 or 5? Setting number 3, suppressed, go for it. I think you got one more?
Nope.
Okay, so no lock back. All right, so unsuppressed, the gas system was working just how it should, but suppressed, we're kind of getting mixed results here. So, I mean, at setting 3 suppressed, we should be getting lockback because you have plenty of gas, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's move it to setting 4, and then we'll load up and see. All right, so move the gas setting to position number 4 now, so not fully open, but just under it. And again, the Duramag 147-308, go for it. Hopefully we can, what is that, 5 rounds?
I think so.
No lockback again. All right, we'll go back to fully open. All right, guys, so fully open position. Again, suppressed, Duramag 147-308, go for it. Hopefully we get lockback. No lockback. Well, I mean, that's as open as we can get it, and we're not getting lockback suppressed on this ammunition. So I'm curious if just the way you think the 147 is just not enough or what?
Maybe, you know, it might lock back with other ammo, but I have seen other rifles suppressed that don't lock back 100% of the time, so I wouldn't say it's abnormal, but this ammo just, it seems a little dirty. Definitely a lot of gas back in the face, but that's normal with, you know, shooting suppressed.
All right, Sal, so you were saying the most comfortable was number 1 setting, so fully closed, suppressed with the 147-308. I'm gonna have you shoot that and we'll see what kind of, just for shits and giggles. So no lockback, but that felt the best?
No lockback, but it's definitely a huge difference from it being completely open. Recoil rise, you also get a little bit less gas in the face, but that's expected, obviously, that's what it's meant to do.
All right, guys, so if you're running cheap 147-308, then you can just leave it in the closed setting, suppressed with the Griffin 30 cal SD, but that's just our experience, guys. So we had, you know, unsuppressed. You liked what, setting number 3 unsuppressed the most? Yeah,
it definitely seems like that's what's going to be more reliable as far as, you know, everyday use. As far as balancing out the recoil, the gas, all that, setting 3 definitely worked for this ammo at least. But your mileage may vary on whatever ammo you're using on your own.
All right, so just as you saw, while unsuppressed, the 5-position adjustable gas block worked perfectly, did the job, did exactly what it was supposed to. Now the results that we got while shooting the gun suppressed were very strange to us. When I did my groupings with the different grains of ammunition, I got good cycling and lockback. However, when we switched back to this 147 grain ammunition for the demo, we did not get lockback. I personally think it is a mix of running the cheaper Igman 147 ammunition and the gun getting dirty from shooting it suppressed. We could not really think of anything else that would cause the gun not to lock back, since it did lock back for us on the 168 grain Federal Sierra Match King ammo during the grouping demo. Now, before we left the range, I wanted to dial in this optic as best I could with the SMB 168 grain hollow point boat tail 308 ammo. All right, guys, so before we leave the range, I want to dial the gun into the ammunition that we had the best results with. That was the SMB precision rifle ammo, the 308 168 grain hollow point boat tail. So with that being said, I've already made my adjustments based on the target you saw earlier. We put the target back up. I'm gonna zero off of that top left one again. So you should be seeing it in real time down there from the iPhone. But yeah, I'm going to get it properly zeroed to where I have a really tight group, and then I will just designate this specific ammunition to this setup. That's what you would do, yeah?
Correct.
So yeah, I'll go buy more of this SMB 168, have it set aside for, you know, if John and them are gonna go hunting out with it, or if we're gonna go shoot a match with it, I know that this is dialed in and we're good to go and get the best results with this stuff. So I'm at setting number 3, which is what we had the best results with, and Duramag, which we had the best results with. So 5 rounds loaded, 168 hollow point boat tail. Here we go. I'll stop talking now. Ready? Get this mic out the way. Here we go. That's dead center.
Yep.
And we did not get locked back on 3. All right.
About 1 inch.
1 inch? We got the grouping we wanted? Are you saying or up or come down? I think it's good.
Your first shot was dead center, and then every other one was just about 1 inch high.
All right, let's go take a look, and then we'll adjust from there and maybe tape up some stuff. All right, guys, so here is that grouping, and we are under 1 inch. So we definitely got sub MOA with it, yeah?
Yep.
Full deal. So I don't know. This is the tighter group, though. What do you think? Probably come off of that.
Yeah.
So we are talking literally an exact ½ inch. So we'll divide 0.5 by 0.36, which is going to be either 1 or 1.5. I'll probably just bring it down 1 click. I'll tape this stuff up here. We'll shoot another group and get it. See if we can get all of them right in here. Unlikely, but we'll try. All right, guys, so a ½ inch divided by 0.36, because this is increments of 0.1 mil. So 1 mil is 3.6 inches, divided by 10, you get 0.36. That gives you 0.5 divided by 0.36, ends up making this like 1.38 clicks. I'm just gonna go 1 down, because we don't have 1.38 here, you get 1 or 2. So 1 click down. I'm gonna load, I think I got 4 rounds left in this box. I'll just shoot a 4-round group this time, and should be good to go here. I'm wondering, since we didn't lock back, maybe we should open it up to setting 4 on the gas, though.
Try it out.
There we go, setting 4. All right, here we go. Seeing if we can get a tighter group. Well, I mean, I like the sub 1 inch group, but it'd be nice if they're all dead center in that bullseye. Ready? Here we go. That drift? Went a little left, huh?
Yep.
That one's on top of it though.
About a 1/2 inch or 2.
Oh, and then, so it didn't like setting 4. So I think 3, I think like you were saying before, that's too much gas at 4.
Yeah.
It's cycling too fast, catching that round before it can eject. So I'll bring it back down to 3. Hell man, even 2 might be better than. Less gas, less recoil. All right, so down here at the target, Sal, bring in that tape measure for me, bud. Tell me what we got.
About a 1/2 inch.
So had I not thrown that flyer, this guy's right here, that one I definitely felt. I jerked the trigger on that one. So, but I mean, even then, what's the grouping there? Just a little over 1 inch?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, just barely over 1 inch.
So even with, you know, me being the human error, messing up the shot, we still have 1 MOA, but man, is that not satisfying, guys? 100 yards away, dead center. I know for you guys out there that shoot precision a lot, you're like, whoop-de-doo. For me, I'm stoked. That's awesome. That's what I expect out of this gun, and definitely happy with the purchase from that guy right there. Hey-o! Like I said on the range, guys, that dead center shot and that sub MOA grouping definitely make this gun worth every penny in my opinion. Me personally, I have a love-hate relationship with 308. I've never quite gotten the accuracy I wanted until now. This gun is priced at $1,500 and that includes the Save Your Equipment bag, Magpul bipod, and 3 magazines. For somebody like me, who is not an experienced long-range shooter, to produce these results at 100 yards with this more budget AR-10, it's just awesome, guys. My goal with producing this video is to show you guys out there who want to get into this type of shooting that you're going to be able to pick this gun up, purchase some match grade ammo, and get these kind of results. Alright guys, so my overall thoughts now on the PSA Sabre 10 from Palmetto State Armory. Even with the lockback issues, I still think it's an awesome gun, especially for the price point. We did run a total of 700 to 800 rounds through the gun so far, with the majority of it being suppressed. I think a few more range sessions is going to really let me see what the perfect mag ammo suppressor combo is for consistent cycling and lockback. I might reach out to the PSA team and have them take a look at it, as their customer service has always been really on point, but I'm not there yet. I do think that with the thick Cerakote paint, the gun definitely needs maybe 50 to 100 rounds cycled to kind of smooth things out in that chamber. You also want to make sure that you lube the charging handle and bolt carrier up when you first get this gun. Again, I am very happy with the results that we got using the S&B 168 grain 308. Those are the results that I expected to get from this gun. I will say though, during the first range session when we used that PMC 147 grain, we still got everybody hitting out to 600 yards on C-zone steel. This includes some of our buddies who have never shot precision before, and on top of that, we did it with a PVS 27 attached while shooting at night. How's that feel, Compton?
Fucking amazing.
Needless to say, hitting steel at 600 yards while suppressed using night vision is a very satisfying feeling, regardless if you're a beginner or an experienced shooter. Now, the last thing, guys, that I wanted to go over is that awesome 2-stage trigger. Before we left the range, I took a minute to give you guys an up-close and personal look at it. All right, guys, you hear me talk about two-stage triggers all the time and why they're my favorite. The PSA two-stage trigger is no exception. I really am digging this trigger. Right here, you'll see, here's all your prep, very little. I'd say it's maybe 2-pound prep, maybe a 2.5-pound wall. I bet you the trigger's probably around 4.5 pounds. We'll check in studio. But right here, you see, there's that prep. There's the wall. It's very, very nice. The reset, audible, tactile, you can hear it, you can feel it, it's good to go. And the trigger is very nice too. Say you needed to do like a rapid fire engagement, you're going to be able to. So well done with the trigger. I'm very happy to see that this is the trigger they include with this setup. So all the accessories, from the charging handle being radiant and the safety selector with that 45 degree I was talking about earlier, definitely all things that I'm digging. All right, guys, in studio now with the trigger gauge, and we'll get a couple of pulls here to see where it's at. Got 2 pound, 12 ounces, so that's mainly the brake. Go in, enter that one up. £2, 8 ounces at the brake. Let me enter that one, there we go. And then 2 pounds, 11 ounces. So about an average of 2 pounds, 10 ounces. So pretty on par with what they're saying. It's got about a 2-pound prep and then about a 2.5-pound wall. Now, for those wondering, yes, you can definitely bump fire this trigger too. Check out our other posts on social media if you'd like to see that, since I can't really put that in this video due to YouTube policies. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. Let us know what you think about the new Sabre 10 from Palmetto State Armory. Are you guys gonna be picking one of these up and have an M110 at home as well? If you are, drop us a line down below in the comment section, and be sure to check out our review website with our affiliate links. If this video helped you decide on picking this gun up, we appreciate using our links because it does 2 things for us. The first thing it does is it shows Palmetto State Armory that our videos do help with sales and gives them a reason to continue supporting the channel. Additionally, we make a small commission off of every sale from our links, so we do appreciate when you guys use them. Guys, also, if you're in Vegas, if you're a local, our good buddies over at Ventura Munitions just got an order of these in, and they have both 308 and 6.5 Creedmoor versions. I talked with Mikey, and he said that this is one of the guns that they're going to continually be ordering, so they'll have them in stock pretty readily. Definitely check them out if you want to get your hands on one of these in person before purchasing. Congrats to PSA, Palmetto State Armory. We're happy to see all of this awesome stuff they've been putting out this year. They showed a lot at SHOT Show, and they are coming through with all the things that they were going to deliver. They're definitely crushing it. I also want to give another shout out to our buddies over at True Shot Ammo out of Arizona for sending us this ammo for the video. You're going to be seeing them a lot in our videos, as we're going to be working with them on future projects. So I appreciate you guys checking out their website for all of your ammunition needs. Guys, we appreciate you checking out this video as well. Be sure to like and subscribe, especially if you're new here, because we post new videos every week. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.